Tech Tuesday.
Tech Tuesday is going to be super cool.
Microphone shootout, right?
The great mic shootout of 2021.
That's right. Of course, by the time people hear this, it will have already happened.
But
because we're time travelers.
That's right.
We're time travelers. But I'm trying to pick out which mics. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's only 30 minutes. We got to talk about it. This is going to be snappy. Like, this is going to be like, we're just going to blast. We ain't going to talk about any of it. We're just going to talk into them, and you're going to listen.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
But the app is pretty, this Hoova app, man, it's more than Twitter, man. Like, I don't have the energy for it.
It's too much, yeah.
But it's good though. Like, I do like how much there's a lot of engagement. I mean, there's a lot of people on it already,
much.
Which is cool. And they're real. It's not like bots and, shit. Like, that's not
the app. That's the community. Like, that's
it's
people.
It's very cool. Like, it's very energizing. Like, I'm trying to get into it when I have the time, and working with my website team here to, like, we got to get podcast outfitters, like, dialed in, because these people are ready to go. Like, it's very cool. And so it's kind of got me out of the cold, doldrums of DC winter, and I'm like, oh yeah,
let's do this.
Let's go. Let's Podfest global this shit. Like, this is gonna be great. So
nice.
Thanks to Martin.
Are you a sponsor, or are you just presenting?
So Marcus got me in the door with Tech Tuesday, which I'm psyched to see what else you're putting together on Tech Tuesday.
Yeah.
Great Mike Shootout 2021, sponsored by Cloud Microphones, of which I will have none.
Look at you.
I've got one that they sent me last year.
Do you have a Cloud mic?
Not a
Cloud lifter. See,
the Cloud.
It's a misleading thing, because, like, they should have a whole separate brand for just those products. They're complete. They make the Cloud Lifter, $149. The thing I ordered so many more of those things than I ever would, because everyone just needs one for everything. But then the Cloud microphones are, like, so badass and never gonna be in a podcast.
Right.
Not ever. Well, how much is a Cloud microphone?
Condensers, or do they make?
Are they they're either only condensers or only ribbons?
I think they're only ribbons, and podcasters should not use ribbons.
But the other thing about they're only ribbons.
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking about it this morning when I saw that they were the sponsor, because, like, it's super cool, and, like, Cloud Lifter is the premier mic activator for the industry. No doubt. I love seeing that dog in the background, Molly. But if Cloud came out with a end fire dynamic microphone, they'd do great.
Or there's these new ribbon mics that are coming out now. I can't remember who I saw. It was Podcastage. Hold on, let me look it up really quick, and we can edit this.
I can see it. Like, their mics are really cool, and if they took, like, the blue of the Cloud Lifter, Cloud, I hope you're listening, the blue of the Cloud Lifter and, like, the silver grill, and made it look just like the mic you're thinking of, it would be sweet. And yes, you could charge more. You could probably charge $500 for this microphone, and it would be acceptable, because it would be awesome. Just saying.
If you're listening, Cloud.
I hope you're listening. Maybe you're the next listener.
AEA.
Fan number 9.
AEA just came out.
They did the KU ones.
The KU5A.
Yeah, and they make an end fire ribbon.
Yes, that is is it a hypercardioid or supercardioid or just regular cardioid? But
I bet that's pretty
figure 8.
So they should take that. You're right. You're dead on.
Podcasters don't want to use ribbon mics because A, they're fragile. B, they are usually pretty expensive, and C, they are a figure 8 pickup pattern. So it picks up everything in the back just as much as it picks up in the front. So it would pick up your computer fan just as much as it'll pick up your voice. So you don't want to use a ribbon mic. But this new AEA mic.
What context? Sorry to interrupt, but what context would a ribbon mic be good for?
So
inside of a vocal booth?
Yes.
No. Go for it, Marcus. Go.
Musicians typically use them. Like, all of my friends have at least 2 ribbon microphones so that they can do a stereo room mic or every once in a while they use them for drum overheads, but usually it's room mics for drums that they blend in with the drum kit to give it like that ambient sound, and usually compress the snot out of them. And the other big place they get used is paired with usually an SM57 or an SM7B on a electric guitar cabinet. So you get a ribbon mic and an SM7B on a guitar cabinet. And it sounds totally kick-ass.
You know,
Nice.
the pattern's not really the pattern's not why one uses a ribbon. It's because of the sound of the ribbon. They just happen to be figure eight because of the way the mic, because it's a ribbon.
Right. Because of the technology. And they just sound super.
It's like bourbon and whiskey.
Mushy.
Like all
Yes.
it's like all whiskey, all bourbon's whiskey, but not all whiskey's bourbon. All ribbon microphones are used because this, but they are also that.
Yeah.
Did you know the difference between whiskey with an E-Y and whiskey without the E?
No.
It means it was aged in an oak barrel.
What?
Really?
So like most Irish whiskey is K-E-Y.
So Irish whiskey is aged
And this
in what?
message was brought to you by Jameson.
So what is Irish whiskey aged in?
Mostly oak.
Oh, okay.
So if it's K-E-Y, it's most likely Irish.
I gotcha.
I just got a bottle of bourbon from Gibson Guitars, and I think it's Bourbon Burst because they make a guitar that's Bourbon Burst. But like I feel like it's like they should have done it in like barrels made from the dead bodies of guitars.
Dude.
That would be
Burned,
legendary.
sick.
guitar.
That'd be sick. And every Gibson like monster was like, I need this because I live for this guitar. Like it would, but it wasn't. It was just made in
Tastes
just
like
normal,
lacquer.
just normal. Good.
Yeah. You're like
Burn your
I'm picking
insides.
up notes of oak and vanilla and the torment of a million musicians.
It would, and it would be
And rusty strings.
monumental.
And
A
sweaty
sweet hint of
fingers.
rust. Yeah.
Recirculated band bus air.
That's right.
But so ribbon microphones would never be good for podcasting. Agree, because if you have so on the figure eight pattern, we agree not really good, although could be not really good at ever doing an interview.
Right. And that is actually a supposed quote unquote feature of the Blue Yeti microphone that they tout. That you can use one
many
microphone
microphones,
for people.
many microphones that say they have a figure eight on the
shaking my
consumer
head.
end of things, they push it that way. And like technically you can. Like if you have one microphone,
Yeah.
you could do that.
But I don't recommend it.
But you're recording both voices on one track.
Yep.
And so you don't get the
Not close enough to it.
right, you're not getting the real benefits of it, although it does mechanically work.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's
then
like drinking a Four Loko. You know, like you could do it.
And it'll
You
work.
might get. It'll work, but do you want to? You know.
That's exactly it. Everyone
can.
write that down. Figure eight
Doesn't mean
pattern
shit.
is the Four Loko of podcasting.
That's our graphic for social sharing
That's
this episode.
that's the headline of today's episode. And that's it. Thanks for listening,
We're done
everyone.
here.
Till next time. But yeah, Cloud and Fire would be awesome. Great the podcast Mike Shootout 2021. What else are you doing for Tech Tuesday?
Oh man, there's lots of stuff. The talented and lovely Molly Ruland is going to be on a panel with.
You're on Tech Tuesday too?
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
You know we're up in this bitch.
I asked-
super
What are you
deep
Tech
leg
Tuesdaying?
way.
I asked everybody I know, basically.
That's awesome.
for Tech Tuesday.
What's your Tech Tuesday?
Systems and processes,
Awesome.
It's a panel discussion.
automation,
Nice.
With Al
communication tool. How to make the machine run. Like,
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
So I'm gonna study a lot before Tuesday. Just kidding.
No, it's 10 to 4 Eastern, so it's a full day of tech nerdery going on.
And are you the moderator of all of it?
I'm the MC for the day. So
That's a lot of airtime.
And then we've got happy hour at 4:15. So bring your beverage.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to
Or
drink at work?
420.
Or 4:20. I should have done it at 4:20. Of course, it'll be 3:15 for Molly and I because we're on Central Time.
That's right. I'm on Saskatchewan, Costa Rican time. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
Not on Central Time.
GMT -6
What else you got?
for Tech Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got actually so far. Guess what topic has been signed up the most for people that have said I'm going to attend this so far? We're
What?
a week before right now. Guess. Come on, this will be fun.
Clubhouse.
Actually, no, we don't have a Clubhouse session.
I've already gotten a
Oh,
question
you're the
about that.
only
I want
one.
to talk to you more about that because I feel like that's going to be a question. I'm doing some other session some other time. I'm curious. You've done some research. I want to know.
With Clubhouse.
But wait,
Okay.
what else, what is it?
So it's doing remote interviews like what we're doing right now.
Oh,
The
we're experts.
lovely Raina, and I can't remember her last name, but Carrie Caulfield Eric, friend of the show, hooked me up with Raina, and she is doing that, which is apparently the hottest topic of Tech Tuesday right now. We'll see how many people actually show up, but should be cool. And
Interesting.
Yeah, she's at the very end of the day, so if you're coming to the happy hour, then you can just kind of come a little early and hang out with me and Raina.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What else is on your Tech Tuesday lineup?
My buddy Alan Clark that does the Photo Untaken podcast, who's a professional like rock star photographer. He is talking about lighting for video, which is going to be
Nice.
awesome because he knows.
He can teach me a thing or two as I like put shadows on my own face. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then there's somebody talking about Audacity, which is cool because it's one of the most popular DAWs that people use. There is somebody talking about Podfade. There's somebody talking about websites, which is something that I feel like most podcasters overlook, which I know, Molly, you have a passion about as well. Yeah, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but anyway, it'll be after the fact anyway. But so whoever's listening, you missed a great Tech Tuesday.
Yeah, you fucked up, quite frankly.
Well, it's gonna be cool.
Just,
So thanks
Yes.
for like jumping in there and doing the thing because it's sweet.
yeah.
But
But
for
yeah, so-
anybody listening, Podfest, the community of Podfest on Facebook is fantastic. Chris
Awesome.
Kremistos, who's the founder, and Lee how do you say her last name? Lee Uehara?
I just figured out how to say Chris's last name, so you know what I'm saying, like one thing at a time. Kremitsos.
Kremitsos, that's right. Yes. But they have built a fantastic community that just gives and gives and gives, and it's about the people. They are trying to set a new Guinness World Record to break the one that they set last year, but it's not about that. It's about just bringing people together.
It's a great community, and
Indeed.
so we are sponsoring it too. We're giving away a ton of stuff. We're giving away
Nice.
20 gift cards. We're giving away 10 gift cards for $20 each. 10 Audio-Technica 2005 USB microphones.
Nice.
And a
Boom.
Zoom P4 podcast bundle.
Boom. Nice. Killing it.
Good stuff.
Gang, gang.
Very good stuff.
Good stuff.
Gang, gang.
Some of the best stuff
So,
out
you
there.
know, sorry, Adam. Speaking of doing remote interviews, I'm surprised at that. I'm not surprised that it's popular, but I'm surprised it's that popular right now because I kind of figured the podcast industry had sort of figured that out by now, like before everybody else. But at the same time, like, did you guys hear that Zencaster just raised $4.6 million in funding, and they're just now rolling out their video in beta?
They've been they've been around for a while as one of the early kind of go-to services that podcasters saw for doing remote interviews, but they're not late to the game, but they're behind Riverside, which is what we use, and Squadcast as far as adding video to the game. but they're ahead of some other people that don't have video yet. But yeah,
right.
it's
but
crazy.
That's a lot of bread, yo.
That is.
$4.6 million.
I wonder if they've
what
got
are we
some
doing
other
wrong, man?
special stuff coming down the pike that we don't know about, because it's got to be more than just video that's making people go crazy to give money.
Well, and I'm super curious, like, where are they raising this money from? Like, are they pitching private investors? Like, I'm just curious from like a business standpoint, like how they're doing that. I could probably do more research and find out, but $4.6 million is a lot of bread.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Guys,
What?
here's one problem with Zencaster.
What?
The video they're showing. Can I just share my screen? Can I share a tab?
Yeah.
You're going to be so upset.
It's not us, is it? It's an episode of the podcast club. Like, what the hell?
We didn't give them permission.
I can't. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Jesus
Perfect.
Christ. Jesus Christ.
That's why.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my
Zencaster.
God. This is the podcasting industry in a nutshell. And oh my God.
This pretty girl.
Talking wrong into a Blue Yeti microphone. Talking to the top of it instead of the front.
Look at it.
And like what is even happening
Maybe
right
she's
now?
got it on
Seriously.
omnidirectional like we talked about last time.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Is there video or something on Blue's website that tells you to use it that way?
No.
Why does everybody think to use it that way?
Because that's how it looks like it should be used out of the box.
But
It
doesn't
is a
everybody
bad
think it
design.
sounds like garbage? Like what?
They don't know. They don't know.
They don't
Can't you hear?
listen
Don't
to
you have ears? Like
themselves.
humans know when something sounds bad.
No, not all humans do.
I mean,
It's a
you
skill.
use that headset every week. What do you want to?
Ooh, snap.
Good night, America. See you later.
You like the Bluetooth output of the Rodecaster Pro.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try that.
Zing! That's like a
Pow.
serious
The 1-2
insult
punch.
coming
That was
from
like,
Mark.
that was a three-way punch right there, right in the kisser. Damn.
That was like the meanest thing Marcus has ever said in his
No, it was
entire
all of
life,
it.
too, by the
That was everything I believe in,
Not
just
true.
crumbled to the ground.
way.
Wow.
He said Bluetooth with the Rodecaster. We are out of control. Like, seriously. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. I mean, no, people don't listen to themselves. That's the answer, Mark. Adam, people don't listen to themselves.
Yeah.
They don't listen to their own podcast. They don't hear themselves. There's no, like, monitor in the headphones.
But they don't listen to their podcast? Don't you listen?
No.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you know anybody that would prefer to eat at McDonald's than at like a super high-end like steakhouse like Ruth's Chris or something like that? If money was no
Yeah.
Lots
object.
of
If money was no object. Like flavor-wise, they would rather, and convenience-wise.
Trump. I don't know him, though, for the record.
You know him? I'm just kidding.
No. Jesus, Mark. Trying to get me killed out in these streets. I got a reputation to uphold here, you know?
It does, like, everybody has different, their brains work differently. They have different priorities. Some people don't have the part of their brain activated that can recognize good or bad audio, I feel like.
Okay,
Well-
that's fair.
So, well, yeah, and I think that, like, so often people are like, oh, I'm not a technical person, or I'm not an audio person. Like, you don't hear bad. Like, I don't think you have to have a degree to, like, know when you sound like crap.
Right.
But I think it's like a differentiator. Like, Katie Nelson, one of my friends / clients, like, I got her set up with like a microphone. I was like, I can't handle your truth, man. Like, I can't listen, like, and she's like, what? I never noticed. So then I got her a microphone, and now she's like, oh my God, everyone's audio is so bad. She ruined me. And I'm like, I know, right? Like, and so now she like commiserates with me about bad audio. And she's like, she'll tell you, oh, I'm not a tech person. I'm not an audio person. But I think just even hearing the difference in her own voice from like recording to recording, she's like, oh, I can't go back.
Right.
And then now when she hears really bad audio, it grates on her, where before she wouldn't have it wouldn't have even registered.
It's true. You
know?
can't unhear good audio. Like, you don't know. I completely understand. Like, I've used like a cable and been like, there's no way. And it sounds like, yeah, that sounds fine. And you go back and you're like, oh my God, no.
Right.
No, I can't. You can't. Once you've heard good, you can't unhear it, and you can't go backwards. So we're fighting the good fight here. This crew here,
Yes.
we're fighting the good fight. Despite my headset, we're fighting it.
We all have our setbacks.
Maybe.
Matt makes it
limitations.
sound good though.
That's cool.
puts magic
Yeah,
on it.
he
Appreciate
does,
it.
actually.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for looking
Matt.
out.
Thanks
Thanks for
dude.
looking out.
So, speaking of sounding really good, have you guys watched that show Billions?
Mm-mm.
Take a swing at it. It's on Netflix. It's the best audio I've ever heard from a television show.
Really?
They must have like the best audio engineers like out on the planet, like doing that show, because the way that they must have mic'd the actors up and the boom arms and like all like it, because there's a lot of like quiet but like really powerful scenes. The guy's like he's like the prosecutor for the United States, like powerful DC guy, and he has these like moments where he's like da 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 da. But it's like so rich. It's like a podcast or an audiobook. Like it's so rich. And I've never watched a show before. Now I've watched movies and been like, okay, the music is competing with the voices,
Yep.
and like I'm having a hard time. I've noticed bad
Chronic
audio.
issue.
Right. But I've never noticed in a movie or a TV show the quality of the sound of people's voices. And so I got to look into like who did that, but it is so good. I think you would both appreciate it.
I would bet you $1,000 that they used DPA microphones on that set.
What's
Could
a
be.
DPA microphone?
It's a brand.
Fanciest.
Yeah.
They're on Mars right now.
That's right. They're on Mars.
Oh shit.
That's the microphone that's on Mars.
That's right.
Like hanging out, partying.
It's on the rover.
Recording the aliens.
It's awesome.
That's nuts.
It's on
That's a hell of
another.
a thing for the resume. Like,
Yeah, hell
no
yeah.
big deal. I put microphones.
I use the
on
same
Mars.
microphone that's on Mars.
People wouldn't even doubt me. They'd be like, "Sure you do, Molly."
Whatever. It's true, and it's awesome. But
But
Yeah,
it's not just
they're-
microphones that makes good audio. It's all about placement on film, because you have to hide it, like they're tucked under their collar or
Yeah.
in their hair, or like
Yeah.
in weird, like if they're in a car, they mount it to the visor because it can't be in the shot.
It sounds like someone's like in front of their faces with a super high quality mic. It's like voice of God type stuff. Like
I'm gonna watch it
unbelievable.
now. I have no
Yeah,
idea
no,
how they
it's-
do it. I'm
Just
curious.
for the in this industry you get ruined. Like I can't look at anything without being like, I wonder what camera they're using.
Right.
I'm like that guy now, like but I am mesmerized by like how good that audio is, and I am curious to know like how they did it. There were some really like thoughtful, careful people on that set running those mics for sure. Super good.
Yeah.
Super good. So did you guys hear about like well, first of all, there's like a ton of new podcasts that hit the market this week,
Like what?
and 17 of them are true crime. So
of
we
course.
have nothing to talk about here. Quite just kidding. But seriously, like half of them.
So Adam will
Like,
be
what
happy.
is going on, people? What is happening? But you know what's super crazy? Okay, so there's a new. Did you? On Springsteen, they're doing like an 8-part podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder if Springsteen's what he got a drunk driving charge
I know,
last week.
right?
I wonder
Oh, that this
that
is
part
his-
didn't go
before.
over well
Yeah.
in the PR camp. They're like, "You did what, son? Like, why are you driving, Springsteen? What is life?" And they're doing a new. ABC is launching a podcast about Lady Bird Johnson.
Huh. Interesting. So history.
Yeah, and you can't help but wonder, like, is this like, ABC News? ABC News is doing like a feel-good politician's wife story. I don't know, man. Like, of wonder, like, how long has this been in the works? Is this like a PR thing?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Lady Bird. She was a real G. But I'm just saying, like, are we allowed to celebrate like politicians now that we got all what's his face out? We're like, oh, thank God, let's reminisce.
Right.
Lady Bird Johnson. I don't know. I'm kind of curious though.
We'll find out. We'll have to give it a listen.
We will find out. But I think the most interesting thing, well, there's a few different things. But did you guys hear that like Cadence 13 is putting out all audio movies now?
I did see that. Interesting.
So it's like a feature-length podcast, kind of.
I wouldn't call it a movie, though. Are they actually
like a
calling
radio
it a
show?
movie?
Like
they're calling it says Cadence 13 unveiled their first 3 audio movies under its new scripted studio, C13 Features, which focuses on creating compelling, fictionalized, feature-length audio stories.
Okay.
And they have like 2 more already slated, or like a handful more already slated, ready to go.
Isn't that just like a radio?
Yeah.
Like a radio show?
Audio
like
drama.
A Roaring 20s, like audio, yeah.
The definition of movie, according to Google, is a story or event recorded by a camera as a set of moving images and shown in a theater or on television. A motion picture.
Moving movie.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Wow.
So why would they call
I didn't
it a
until
movie?
then.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's like a talkie
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a movie.
You just turned 140 out of them.
So
Yeah, they
Audio,
got 3 of them on deck, and we've been disciplined and strategic, finding the right stories, writing, and characters that we feel meet our ambitious, creative.
will there
expectations.
be video?
Oh my
Is
God!
it an
Hold
audio
on, it gets
movie
worse.
with video?
And then he is quoted, Chris Corcoran, the chief content officer and founding partner at Cadence 13, is quoted saying, "It's an opportunity to bring storytelling to the world in a brand new, easily digestible experience to create movies for your ears."
Brilliant. Nobody ever thought about that before.
like an audiobook.
Or like radio from the 20s. Before movies existed.
It's a movie for your ears.
So what is an audiobook? This is like the discussion of like what is soup? Like what
it's
is
a
soup?
book for your ears. Is water wet? I mean, are we doing this?
Right. We can go there. We got to get this guy on the show. We got to drill this dude.
Like,
Explain yourself. What is this?
Oh, man.
Oh man. Another cool one that's coming out is a podcast called Duet, and it celebrates the act of sharing music you love with another person. Friends, strangers, and celebrities get together to share and discuss songs that are meaningful to them based on a theme, which I love.
I'm about it.
I hate telling people that they can't put copyrighted music on podcasts because it's like, Jesus Christ, people Google it. Right. But I love this idea of having podcasts around music and like music creation and songwriting and celebrating music, because music is so like nostalgic in so many ways. You know what I mean? Yep. It's so important. So I love this concept of like, and people can't experience live events right now. So I feel like this is pretty close. Like if you could hear like some famous person or someone poignant and thoughtful speaking about some of the music that you love as well, I could see people really getting into that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
I don't know who's producing it though. You know who else is getting a podcast?
Who?
Tucker fucking Carlson.
Can we not talk about him?
That showed. Well, and then, okay, so in the same line of like shows, right? Like some guy, I was going to link to it, but whatever. Some dude got fired from like a major network because he like in an intercompany Slack channel got into like a heated debate about why he thinks it's unfair that white people can't use the N-word. And I'm like, might not be a bad time to be overly racist, dude. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, white
what
men
a hill to
are
die on. You just like
the most persecuted demographic of, according to certain people.
It's so unfair that Right. I mean, it's so unfair that he can't say that word though, Marcus. I mean,
I know. Free speech.
Isn't that amazing though that he lost his job?
I just love
because
that
of
one.
Like,
There's that
dude.
one. I forget who the guy is. But it's like a sport. It's like an interview, and then the black guy in the interview is like, "Well, then just say it. Just go ahead. Just say it right now. You want to say it? Have you seen that clip?
No.
Oh, it's
No.
badass.
Oh.
You'll know the guy. I can't remember who it is, but like you'll know exactly who it is when you see it, and you're like, oh, I like you would not. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you want to
like,
say it? Go ahead.
just-
say it
yeah,
right
just
now.
go ahead.
Was it
Just-
Charles Barkley? 'Cause I could see him saying that.
I could see him saying that too.
Was it recent or was it like a while ago?
I mean, recent enough,
Okay.
but not like yesterday. It's been around. It's made the rounds on the interwebs.
Well,
But it's
the cancel culture thing, though. Like that's a flag that a lot of conservatives are waving and stuff. Like a lot of, especially since I'm down here. In
Yeah,
Tennessee,
Ted Cruz
I hear it a
canceled
lot.
his trip to Mexico.
that's the
Canceled it.
Oh, dude,
Now he's running.
Did you
now
guys
he's running ads for it?
And did
Campaign
you
ad.
see
Like,
that,
give me your money because
someone
I got
hired-
canceled. So, like, guys,
Yeah.
cancel culture,
You're right.
It's
America.
real. America Airlines.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say anything stupid anymore. What the hell? Or do
Yeah.
anything
Dude,
stupid.
did you guys hear that someone hired a mariachi band to play in front of his
play.
house?
Are you
this
serious?
morning? I was like,
Man, he got there and had to turn around so fast, and he must have been
That's what I- yeah,
he
like-
must have been so bummed. He must have been so bummed out. Like he got on that plane, he's like, I did it, I did it. And then when he must have gotten there and his phone was blown up, and they're like, bro, you gotta come home. You gotta come home right now. And he's like,
he's in the airport, like dragging his suitcase and his chin on the ground. You know, like
The thing that shocks me, though, is that these doofuses seem to surround themselves with bigger boneheads than they are, because anyone who is worth their salt in business will hire the sharpest people possible. I would never hire someone who's like a publicist or any kind of administrator that would allow the leader of the organization to do something that short-sighted and just blind. It's ridiculous.
yeah, like manage him better. Right?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Just easy.
It's
Not hard.
I mean,
Just say, no, you
Kanye
can't.
West has 14 publicists. You know what I'm saying? He knows what time it is. You know, 14 full-time publicists just to keep him quiet, and it still doesn't work. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah,
Yeah.
what are we doing, people? But the mariachi band, I saw that this morning, and
That
I
was
laughed
killer.
out loud.
It was killer.
So good. You know, I do appreciate the like resilient sense of humor that we've all kind of adapted. Like in between like bouts of absolute sadness and heavy drinking, we've also like become pretty funny in this pandemic because it's kind of like the only thing that you can do,
Right.
you know? Like there's a meme of Ted Cruz. He's like, I didn't go to Cancun, and he has like the white people like braids that everyone gets when they go to the Caribbean. So good. I mean, if you can't, you know, like if you can't laugh, you just cry, or you storm the Capitol. Those are your options.
Those are your only options,
Right.
right? So laugh.
I'm
laugh more.
gonna share memes. It's good.
Ted
Not much of
Cruz
a
on Mars.
stormer, you know.
So I want to talk about tech real quick.
Okay.
Yes,
I want
talk
to do
about tech.
okay. I have questions for. I have two things that Marcus needs to educate us about.
Okay.
All right.
One, let's just talk about Clubhouse because there's been enough questions about it.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
Marcus, how do you do better audio on Clubhouse?
You have to use a phone connection that is hardwire, not Bluetooth.
Okay. So
To
anything
the
that can
Rodecaster?
go into a lightning port?
Anything that can be used on a phone call that plugs into the lightning port. So you cannot use an audio interface.
So not an iRig.
You can actually, I think somebody I know has used an iRig, but it's the one that has the TRRS adapter,
Not the
lightning.
not the lightning one.
Right, because
Lightning
it's-
one's no.
the digital audio in the typical audio interfaces. I don't know this because I'm not an Apple engineer, but I'm assuming that there is a different protocol in the software, hardware mechanics of how the phone works that shuts off any kind of recording device for phone calls because in the United States you can't record phone calls. And with Clubhouse, they don't want you recording. You're not supposed to record. You can if you get permission, and like people are stating it in the title, and then when they have people up on stage, they'll say, "Okay, state your name and give us permission to record you." So I feel like that.
Whoa.
I don't know this. This is just pure speculation, but I feel like they are tapping into the phone connection because I can use my MixPre 6. I can use my Shure MV7 to listen all day long. I could listen and record through that all day long. But then as soon as I get brought up on stage and it activates the mic, it flips a switch of some sort inside and it shuts off the audio interface.
Wow.
Now, have you tried with an MV88?
I have not, but I figure because the MV88 uses the same technology as the MV7 and the MVI. I also tried my MVI, which is the little, looks like a dinner roll audio interface. And I'm pretty sure it uses the same kind of digital technology as those two. Because can you do phone calls on using the?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then you could do it with a Rodecaster Pro then.
Right, because it has the phone connection. But you need a TRRS cable because
the Bluetooth will not work.
Bluetooth will work. It just sounds like shit.
Mark is cursed, so you know it's serious.
That's right.
Could try it.
I'm that passionate about not using Bluetooth audio.
So then a P4 might work too then.
Yes, a P4 does work because I just had a friend of mine buy one, and I tried to get him to buy it from you, but he lives in Canada, so
it's cool.
Yeah.
Can't hold it against
him, but that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. That's a good solution. Anything that has a literal phone call channel. So the Zoom product, Zoom L8, Zoom P4, Zoom P8, Rodecaster Pro.
Your old
all
earbuds
cool.
From your old iPhone.
Anything that uses the TRRS.
Yeah.
So I would say an iRig 2 would work because that's probably the same deal.
Yes.
Because that's using TRRS.
You have to have an adapter lightning to TRRS or
like the iRig Pro.
The iRig Pro.
No, just the cheap one, the $39 one.
Right.
Oh.
Because that's just a TRS cable.
Right.
I'm also speculating that that's one of the reasons why they're not on Android yet, is because Android, is wide open.
And they don't want people to record
to
it.
lock it down as far as
interesting
people doing crazy stuff with audio.
So
well, that's cool.
I actually use this guy, Adapter 2.
Adapter 2. Yeah.
By JK Audio. I bet
I don't because
nobody does. I had to special order.
I sold my fair amount of them when
really?
that was that used to be the only way to do a phone call before Rodecaster came out. Like that was it. Like, oh, you want to have a radio station or podcast and want to do a phone call and you don't have like a real like switching board to do this kind of thing, Adapter 2. Yeah. That's it.
$180 for that one little box.
And it's not like it's simple, but it's not simple.
Right.
Like it's like you gotta like think about it. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in here and then plug this into this and coming out this way and do this thing. But it works.
Yeah. I actually am in the process of building my own little adapter for my clients.
Of course you are.
Yeah. For my clients that all have MixPre devices like I do, so that it simplifies it, because this is clunky as hell. Like I had to unplug everything, but it's got 3 1/4-inch plugs on this side and 2 XLRs. Like, which one do I plug into? It comes with this.
It's not simple.
It's not simple. I still have to stop and think how to plug it in. So my adapter thing is
I'm glad it's not just me, because I would sell the crap. I would sell them. I'm like, I'll draw you a picture. Just give me like 30 minutes to figure it out. And then
and it doesn't come with all the cables you need either. So it comes with one cable to connect to the phone, but nowadays you have to still have the lightning adapter. But my adapter thing is gonna just plug straight into a lightning adapter. It's just gonna be a male XLR with TRRS on the end to plug into the adapter, and then it'll have a loop out of the XLR into the stereo output jack. That's also 3.5 millimeter, but stereo. But it's wired mono. That's the tricky thing, is you have to know the signal flow and not wired up stereo, because it's all unbalanced audio.
You're making them by hand?
Yeah, I'm soldering them. This stuff should have been here today, from.
Let's make a
Redco.
million of them. Let's do it. That's a cool
Well, I'm
idea.
gonna make 5, and I'll send you one if you'd like.
Let's make 1 trillion of them.
I don't want to
He's
do.
like,
it for
okay, I'll
living.
make 7.
No, you're not going to make them.
Oh, I see.
You make the prototype.
But make the prototype.
Well, see, I'm using Mogami wire and Neutrik
We can do it.
connectors.
Hell yeah.
And
Let's do it.
So, some.
You're like a pothead snob on a Grateful Dead log. You're like, I only smoke Kush and Keith.
let's use. Oh, Marcus, I'm jacked up about this. This is a great idea. You have to come up with a cool name for it, and let's sell 1 trillion of them.
The trick is,
great idea.
though, and this is something that.
Sell to all the clubhousers.
There you go. But the
That's what I'm
problem
saying. You can
is,
sell a
with my
Clubhouse
adapter,
kit.
you it has to come with me. This is the problem, and there's only so much
Why?
of me to go around because
That's what you say right now.
you have to. Even though the connection is straightforward, you still have to adjust the output gain of
Just write a little.
device.
We're gonna make them all. You're gonna write a little manual.
Okay.
We're gonna bring them all here. We're gonna ship them around the world. We're gonna change Clubhouse forever.
Like the Blue Yeti is
Boom.
changing podcasting because they come with a little note on how to use the mic properly, and you see how well that's working.
We're gonna change the game, Marcus. I'm
Okay,
convinced.
so I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, I really need you to explain me how to connect this phone. Okay, so I have my iPhone. I have the Rodecaster Pro.
Yes.
So I need a Lightning to TRSS.
Yes, a lightning adapter, which used to come with the phones when they first got rid of the headphone jack. So you might have a little white adapter thing.
I do
somewhere.
not.
Okay.
I
Because you
do
just
not.
got rid of.
I always
Yes,
carry one in my
that
pocket.
that is it.
Wait,
know what I'm
I
talking
think I
about,
do
Molly?
have one of them. Yeah,
You got one of these.
yeah.
They charge you an arm and a leg for them now, like $29,
No, they're like
They
9.
are.
maybe.
Wait,
Apple charges you $9.
wait. I think I have one right there. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so I think what we should do is a Clubhouse room, but only with us having proper mics plugged in.
Yes, I did
And
this
blow everyone
actually
away.
last week with Billy Salibi. We did that. We live broadcast, and it's tricky because basically we were on Squadcast instead of Riverside, and we started, and he started recording, and of course Squadcast for some reason didn't give him the files. They had to recover. That's a whole other story. But what we had to do is then we had to mute our audio on Squadcast and then plug into our phone, and bring it up on the phone, so we were hearing each other on Clubhouse on our phones. But we were seeing
so
each
you
other
were-
on Squadcast. So
And
that
then
we
were
could
you
still-
live streaming the Squadcast?
No, we were not. We were not live streaming video. We were just live streaming on Clubhouse.
So why did you want to
Because-
have video?
Well, he does. Well, we wanted to see each other, I guess. Billy, but that's just how he records his podcast. So, like us, we do a YouTube recording. We don't stream live, but we end up putting out a video. So, if we only talk to each other on Clubhouse and recorded on our own end, there would be no video because Clubhouse has no video. So, that's what
Right.
we'll have to do is connect on Riverside and then plug in and get on Clubhouse and do a live thing.
And then we can make faces at each other, and all the people in Clubhouse won't see it. Like, "What,
Exactly.
guy?"
Adam can show the coolest new gear, and nobody will be able to see it.
that no one can have.
I'm pretty jacked up about this cable, Marcus. I'm not gonna lie. All I can think about is this cable.
Pun intended.
What we're gonna call
I
it.
think
You're
it's
jacked up.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
The Clubhouse VIP
Brilliant.
box, dude. That's it. You want to be a Clubhouse VIP? Get the box.
Get the box.
I'm just saying. You put everything in one place. You put a microphone in there. You put the adapter.
This
You
will be
put
a
the
dongle,
whatever,
though, unfortunately.
and you sell it for $200 or whatever,
No
whatever the
problem.
cost is.
Shipping included.
People will buy them because
Great.
everybody's looking for a way to like stand out and differentiate themselves and like. If you-
3
yeah.
seconds into my thing going live on the Hoova app, like 3 questions about, hey, how do I make Clubhouse sound good?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a real deal.
Lily knows, don't you, Lily?
Only knows. All right, that was good. That was good. That was good. I'm super informed now. I'm all super jacked up. I think it's great.
Sell that right now.
Next-
Sell them a P4.
Yes, I will, and that's probably better.
Yeah.
But also
It's not.
expensive. This is simple and elegant, and I like it.
It's
it's
just a few dollars more than this. The P4
No,
is
no,
like
no.
$20
Well,
more
no.
than
The
this.
P4, yes, P4 is way better than adapter 2. I'm just saying your cable idea is really slick.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic. Loopback audio.
Aha.
Loopback audio.
This is also tricky and very technical.
This is a tricky one also. Similar signal flow complications of confundiums.
Yes.
But important, and I've seen it in a couple devices lately.
Right.
And I was like, what is this? And last week when we had our scheduling snafu, Marcus and I went down this rabbit hole a little bit. I'm like, this is interesting, and I want to talk about it more. So, because I have this toy.
That is not
This
a
is
toy.
like
That is a tool.
This is not a toy, right? This is a tool. You're right, Marcus. I apologize. RME. RME, fantastic audio interface makers of the recording world.
Top of the line digital to analog and analog to digital converters.
Top of the line. Lots of bells and whistles in this thing, but cutting to the chase.
Are they German?
It just sounds super good, huh?
Are they a German company?
I think so.
Wouldn't surprise me.
This thing is just, if you know the Apogee Duet and the Apogee One, which maybe if you had like fancy recorders. I was on a session with the Tiva people the other weekend, and I think that Molly introduced me to them long ago, and everyone there was using Apogee stuff. The Apogee doesn't make the Duet anymore, so this is like as good as you can get in like a portable interface. This is
What's great about it? What
okay.
What kind of
all right. Two XLR inputs, two XLR outputs, which is unique
Okay.
Yes.
on the interface.
Yes.
No, the Apogee used to have like this dongle cable, breakout
Hated it.
cable.
I had one. I got
real
rid
pain
of it.
in the ass.
Sucked. Buzzed
This
all
is
the time.
real hard connections on it. Really good.
Not combo jacks though.
No combo jacks, but like this. Okay,
Often do people that really use those.
right? It actually.
Combo jack has
2 quarter-inch inputs.
Oh, so it already has quarter-inch inputs.
You're set. So four inputs on the device, 2 dedicated microphone inputs that have serious gain, enough gain that you can plug an SM7B into it, no cloud lifter, sound A+. 75 dB of gain.
I think that, yeah, you said it was more than my beloved
76
Mix
dB of
3.
gain.
Yeah, which mine has
Very
70.
cool. and stepped. Very nice little wheel here.
Ooh.
Very cool. USB.
See?
USB comes with both cables.
Okay.
Comes with USB-A and USB-C. And can work with a phone
Ooh.
out the box. And one of the few devices that right now actually works with the new Apple with the M1 chips. The new Apple computers, which when Apple blinks, the whole audio world just shuts off for a couple months until everything comes back to life. I don't care if you have universal
All right. I have
audio
something to say
or you
about
have
that, but that's another topic.
that's a whole other
Yeah,
podcast.
Let's stay with the.
But these guys came out with the driver super fast on their website. Works, no problem. It's badass.
I got an M1. I got an M1 Mac Mini.
This can do like way more than a podcast would ever need. This ain't cheap, $950.
Holy guacamole!
But it's the real, like, if you really like mean it, like you really want to sound like the shit, and you need this and an SM7B, and you're set, and you don't need anything else.
Damn it! Now I want one.
It's on par
It's awesome.
with the Apollo Twin.
Yeah,
far
which
as
is also
quality, but
up there.
It's got a lot more bells and whistles and a ton more gain. My Apollo Twin only has 55 dB gain.
And it comes with all the breakout cables. It comes in this sweet carry case. So like it's super port, some sweet, case. It's awesome. And it sounds ridiculous. And then there's like a virtual mixer. They call it, what do they call it? They call the software Total Mix.
Oh, so you can
And
control it with an app on your phone or something?
there's a Total Mix app and there's a Total Mix desktop app. So like that's like your virtual mixer. So you can like set your levels. It has like reverb and other stuff in it, but for our purposes, it just has a mixer so that you can kind of set everything so that you can record it. It's not the recorder; it's just like a virtual mixer. But yes, you can actually connect over Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something with an app and mix it separately. So you can set the gain while not actually touching the interface, which is also cool. But in that, I was asking, they do loopback audio.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where Marcus is going to tell us what the hell that is.
Right.
Because there's one other device out there that I've seen that really highlighted the loopback audio, which I didn't quite get how cool it was until Marcus said this, because the Presonus USB microphone I used that one time that you guys were so happy I didn't use my headset. The Presonus Revelator USB microphone also does loopback audio.
And so does the Motu M4.
Which is also cool. Marcus, what's loopback audio?
Loopback audio is where the device allows you to capture your computer system audio. So essentially, if you are doing a Zoom call, or if you're doing, like right now, what I'm doing with you guys on Riverside in Chrome, I can record you from my browser, because the browser is outputting audio digitally to my computer, but I can't, like if I have a DAW open, I can record my microphone, but the microphone audio interface is the only thing seen as the input. I can't record Chrome. And there's no option to record Chrome when you have a microphone hooked up normally. But with loopback audio, you can set it to where it's receiving the USB audio into the device, and then it pumps it back through into your recording.
So it is a hardware feature. This is not you need software to manage it, but it is a hardware feature. So it's that the Babyface Pro FS has enough channels available to it. It has those 20 channels that allows it to actually take a signal back through the USB from the computer and then back through the interface into another input of your recording platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with this is that the microphone sends a signal in as one channel, and then the audio that's coming back gets looped back through the interface and then back into channel 2 of the recording for your DAW. Right. So you have your microphone on channel 1 and the streams recording on channel 2. Separate tracks, multi-track, loopback.
That's crazy. So that means you could record on like Microsoft Teams or Facebook Messenger or anywhere that you're sending audio.
Google Hangouts, FaceTime, whatever. Yeah.
Which now makes this microphone way cooler than I really thought it was. This is $179 USB microphone that does loopback audio for you.
And that's a snazzy little stand, yo. I like the looks of that jobby. I like the little one arm lean on it.
And this was easy to use at the box. I mean, I downloaded the software right away, plugged it in. Like, I turned that thing on like 3 seconds before we went live, and it worked. And that was cool. I think that might have been the one with Brian Barletta, maybe.
Did that also have all the effects and stuff? Like
that's when I sounded like a robot and Spaceman. Yeah. That was cool.
That was with Brian.
But if you want to sound like the shit and you want to do it for real, you go Babyface Pro, and this can do the whole thing. Can you do different? Okay, question, Marcus. Can I record your voice separate from Molly's voice if this has multiple channels? It's one loopback.
Yeah, because it's just one USB input. So it's
doing one feed
loopback on my MixPre 6 right now. I'm recording you guys as a backup.
MixPre's can do it too?
Yes, MixPre's can
do
it.
That's cool too.
So your Rodecaster Pro does it as well, because you can record the USB input into the SD card.
Cool.
I don't know if you can loop it back into a DAW, but you don't really need to. And I'm recording it internally into my MixPre 6.
True.
The Zoom P4 technically does loopback as well, because you can record a USB input as well.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, that would be a great way to record a phone interview if you put your phone into that little snazzy box in your hand there.
Yes, or my adapter.
You could loop back audio the person on the line, their audio.
That is my fallback. That's why I got that, because I did a show where we were interviewing a bunch of lawyers and doctors who apparently are too busy to bother with any kind of microphone or using a computer in any way, and they wanted us to talk on the phone. I'm surprised they didn't want to do it over fax.
Right.
So we had to record a bunch of them on phone call. And initially I did it using Google Voice, which sounded terrible. It worked, but
Right.
it sounded awful because it was their VoIP stuff. It dumbs down the audio and compresses it, and it worked, but it sounded terrible. So with the adapter 2, or with a cable that connects to a phone like the one I'm building, or with the Zoom P4 or a Rodecaster Pro that has a TRRS connection, you can just have a phone call. And that's why they made that on the Rodecaster Pro, so you can take live calls like an audience, call-in show type thing. And if you're doing iPhone to iPhone on a solid internet connection, it actually sounds better than phone call quality. And it sounds better than Skype quality even. iPhone,
that's a pretty low bar, though.
You're right. That's true. Didn't used to be.
I used to have this really bad client who would record his podcast on Skype from his car. And one time he was yelling at me. He was like, I expect radio broadcast quality. And I was like, then you should get off of Skype, sir.
Yeah.
It was a very passive aggressive sir. It felt really good. I fired him 2 months later, but I was like, you're in your car, dude, on Skype.
Well, Zoom is the new Skype. Zoom.
Well,
it's better than, it's a step up in quality from Skype, but not if you use their internal recording, because the internal recording is god awful. There's so many people that record their show using Zoom's recording, and it's just terrible.
yeah. Well, shout out to Riverside. If you are recording remote interviews, get you some Riverside.
That's right.
Yo.
They're not even sponsoring the show.
I know. We just really love them.
That's right.
I'm super happy with them.
We get Able on?
We've had a couple errors. They always fix it.
I haven't had any problems. Knock on wood, big time. Knock on everything wood around me.
I know.
But that's why I have these fail safes. I have the phone call fail safe. I have my MixPre 6 fail safe. Even though it's recording both of you on the same track, I like to have that backup just in case something happens to the Riverside recording, which it never has so far.
It's so funny that Marcus and I have the same birthday. Did you know that, Adam?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Same birthday. And we could
Awesome.
Different years.
While we get along very well, we couldn't be any more opposite. Marcus has 4 backup plans, and I'm like, I'm on acid. I'm not prepared at all. You know what I mean? It's for Libras, we're on the opposite end of the pendulum swing. We're both very smart and good looking, though. That's what we have in common.
Yes. I'm just this way, though, when it comes to audio. Everything else in my life is just a train wreck.
Okay. But you're pretty thorough, man. I'm always like, man, I got to get my life together. I'm a hot mess express over here. So, I have one more podcast industry thing to talk about.
What you got?
Okay, so a few years ago, I was on my friend's aunt's yacht, right? They made a bunch of money. They ran this company for years. They had a yacht, and it was this 90-foot, $30 million yacht, right? And while we're on the yacht, we went on the yacht one day, and we were in the middle of a yacht race. I was in that movie, the Endless Summer or whatever, that 80s movie.
Yeah.
I'm we're on a yacht, we're eating caviar, and there's people line. I'm I don't even know what the hell is going on, but the boat was big enough for us to be chilling on it. So anyway, I'm talking to some of the crew members, and they're telling me about how if you want to get a yacht built, and people live on the yacht. So Aunt Honey doesn't live on the yacht. She's on the yacht a couple times a year, but the yacht moves around and avoids storms. So yachts don't just sit in, shipyards. They move around the world avoiding tropical storms, And so I'm talking to these people, and they're like, yeah, if you want to build a yacht, it takes 3 years. You got to get the hull built in Spain, I think, and then it goes to Italy for the leather, and then it goes someplace else for the wood. And so, even if you have all the money in the world, you can't just get a yacht right away. And there's this guy, and yachts are really expensive items, millions and millions of dollars. And so they were telling me about this story about this guy who had built a yacht. And, he was getting ready to take possession of it, and some Saudi prince or, whatever shows up and it's I'll give you 100, the yacht's worth 30. I'll give you 90 million for it. And the guy was like, word, you know what I'm saying? I'll take that. And then he did it again. And so he raised $140 million out of just having a yacht, and so there's a very similar story going on here in the podcasting space, because apparently Triton Digital was sold for $150 million in October of 2018, right? Triton Digital, EW Scripts bought Triton Digital, and Triton Digital bought Omni Studio for 8.5 in 2019. My point is Triton Digital was, bought for $150 million in 2018. Now, iHeartMedia just bought Triton Digital for $230 million. That's an $80 million flip from October 2018
less than 2 years
to February 2021. So how much money y'all got? Can we buy like a podcast company and then just flip it for 80 million in like 2 years? Because I feel like it's either that or yachts. Like we're doing it wrong, guys. We gotta fix this, man.
Let's find it.
$80
Find
million.
it, Molly. Let's go.
What the hell?
Interest rates are low. Let's do this thing.
I know. Dude, I couldn't get a plate of food at a family reunion based on my credit score. This might have to lead the charge. But see, madness.
That's why people think they can monetize their podcast quickly, because all these investors are dumping cash into these companies.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bread, yo. I mean,
but it doesn't trickle down to us.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not until Molly finds one.
Not until we build my cable.
I know. Dude, the cable might be the ticket. You know what I'm saying? We could take all the money you make from the cable, invest it in Bitcoin.
That's right.
Profit. Adam didn't even flinch. He's like, all right, let's do this.
That's how you monetize podcasts.
Podcoin. Podcoin. Dude.
Let's start our own.
The podcast blockchain.
It's a bunch of people being like, your mic's not on. That's the whole technology. Oh, man. So, yeah. So, moral of the story is...
build a yacht.
We're broke. That's what...
Build a yacht.
Build a
buy
yacht.
a podcast company.
Dude, build a yacht. Hang out in yacht parking lots.
And then flip it.
Flip it. Like drugs. Podcasts and yachts are the new California weed.
Good night, everyone.
And on that note, thank you to the FCC for... I'm just kidding. But yeah, man. Crazy. Like, when are these acquisitions going to stop, man? I don't even know. And then today, somebody was like, or some article, they were like, is Clubhouse going to kill podcasts? I was like, maybe.
I'm so sick of that statement. Are you...
It's like written by some...
Same, but
old
different.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we go, actually, we would be remiss to not mention that article that you and I were commenting on Facebook, Marcus, about kind of bringing up some of the points about Clubhouse, because it's definitely very much aimed at like black creators and has like a black guy on the logo. But if you look at like the company, there's like no black people to be found. It's like white VC people, and like it's like, once again, like black people kind of built the rich creative like tapestry that is the Clubhouse. I mean, because it's a lot of black creatives on there, you know what I mean? And like they're not getting paid, they're not getting like benefiting from it. And it is a little bit of like, it feels a little bit like a setup, because you look at the app, the icons, like a black dude, you kind of like assume there's just like black people involved in it. Like there's black people on the platform, but they're not getting paid for it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, where that conversation leads and to see what happens. I noticed they did already change the face on the icon. It's more of like a brown man now.
Right.
That guy was a customer of the store.
Really? Yeah, they're trying to feature musicians, I think, because both the dudes were musicians. But why not a woman? Why is it a dude?
I was wondering about that. Okay, well, that makes sense where that icon came from. It's just saying keep an eye on that space and see what happens for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening.
But we need more diversity everywhere. But especially where there's money, we need more diversity.
Well, that's the thing, right? So... Yeah. But, yeah, man. Well, on that note, be good to each other. Make good choices. That's what the lady who does the makeup stories about horrible people says. So I'm stealing her time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Guys, it's always good to see your faces. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. We have Brian Barletta back. He can confuse us for another hour. It's going to be
Love it.
fantastic. and yeah, man, thanks for tuning into the podcast. We appreciate all 12 of you. The audience is growing before our very eyes, and we will see you next week.